What's the first thing you picture when you think of the Maasai? For a lot of us, it's that powerful image of a fierce warrior, defined by ancient traditions and a practice that sounds almost mythical, drinking the blood of their cattle. That one idea has sparked a ton of fascination and maybe a little bit of misunderstanding around the world. But what if I told you that this legendary ritual is one of the most misunderstood practices on the planet? The truth is so much more humane, complex, and fascinating than the myths. For the Maasai, cattle aren't just animals, they are life itself. Their bond with their herds is sacred, and drinking blood is a profound expression of that connection. Today we're uncovering 10 truths that will shatter the stereotypes. We'll look at everything from the special occasions that call for this sacred drink to the incredibly smart, sustainable ways they make sure their most precious resource stays alive and well. Get ready to see a side of the Maasai you've never seen before. Alright, let's get the biggest misconception out of the way right now. When people hear blood drinking, it's easy to imagine a violent slaughter. But the reality is the complete opposite. The Maasai hold their cattle in the highest possible regard. They're the ultimate symbol of wealth, status, and life. A man standing in the community is measured by the size of his herd, so needlessly killing a cow would be like setting your life savings on fire. Instead, they practice a careful and sustainable method. A small, precise nick is made in the cow's jugular vein with a specially designed arrow, letting them collect just enough blood without seriously harming the animal. To ensure the animal's well-being, this is not done too frequently on the same cow. The wound clots and heals quickly, often sealed with ash, and that same cow can be a source of nourishment again in the future. This isn't about brutality, it's about a deep respect for their animals, and it's a remarkable balance between necessity and compassion. Another myth that's out there is that blood is a regular part of the Maasai diet, something they drink like a daily glass of milk. That just couldn't be further from the truth. Drinking blood is a special event, reserved for sacred occasions, big life transitions, and for medicinal reasons. It's consumed during major ceremonies like weddings, circumcisions, and when new warriors are initiated, all cornerstones of Maasai life. Beyond ceremonies, blood is seen as a powerful medicine. It's given to women after childbirth to help them regain strength, to the sick to help them recover, and to newly circumcised boys to help them heal. Some elders might even have it to ease a bad hangover. So, far from being some common food, blood is treated like a sacred elixir, a source of life and healing that's used with real purpose, not just as a casual part of a meal. While drinking blood straight is done, one of the most important ways it's consumed is actually mixed with fresh milk. This combination creates a potent, nutrient-rich drink that is central to their traditions. You could think of it as the original Maasai protein shake, a powerhouse of nourishment that's believed to build strength and bolster the immune system. This blood and milk mix is especially important for anyone who needs extra strength. It's given to kids to help them grow, to new mothers to help them recover, and to the sick to speed up healing. The taste is often described as rich, salty, and surprisingly sweet. This shows the Maasai's deep knowledge of their environment and their ability to create powerful nutritional supplements from what's around them. It's not just about getting by, it's a form of traditional wellness passed down for generations. For the Maasai, drinking blood is so much more than just physical nourishment. It's a profoundly spiritual ritual. In their traditional beliefs, a single god, Enkai, gifted all the cattle on earth to them. This origin story creates a sacred bond between the Maasai and their herds. Cattle aren't just livestock. They're a direct link to the divine, and their blood is seen as carrying a life force. When they drink the blood, they believe they're connecting with their ancestors and channeling this spiritual energy for their well-being. The whole act reinforces their identity and their place in the world. It's a ritual that strengthens community bonds and reaffirms their cultural beliefs. In a world that's always changing, a practice like this keeps them connected to their spiritual heritage. For most of us, the idea of drinking blood is pretty hard to imagine, so what does it actually taste like? People who've tried fresh, warm cow's blood usually describe it in a few ways. It's thick, salty, and has a hint of sweetness. Some have even said it tastes sticky. Just seconds after it's collected in a traditional gourd, a film starts to form on top. But when it's mixed with milk, the texture and flavor change completely, creating what one visitor hilariously described as a pinkish cappuccino with a distinct metallic taste. This whole sensory experience is a core part of the ritual, a direct, visceral connection to the life force of the animal that is so central to their existence. As the world gets more connected, a lot of traditional practices are starting to fade. But the Maasai have held on to the ritual of blood drinking with a fierce determination. While some neighboring groups in Kenya and Tanzania have let similar traditions go, the Maasai have preserved it as a core part of who they are. It's a practice that sets them apart, a living symbol of their resilience and their refusal to let their ancient ways get erased by modern life. Now, this doesn't mean the Maasai are stuck in the past. Far from it. Many have embraced parts of modern life, from going to school to adopting new faiths. But they've managed to do it while consciously holding on to the rituals that define them. Wearing their vibrant red shukas, their intricate beadwork, and practicing ceremonies like this one are all powerful statements. It tells the world that they are Maasai, a people with a proud history and a culture that is still going strong. Traditionally, the Maasai diet was almost entirely made up of what their cattle gave them: milk, meat, and blood. For centuries, this high-protein, high-fat diet sustained them. In fact, older studies noted that Maasai on this diet had surprisingly low rates of heart disease, though we now understand this is likely due to a mix of factors, including their genetics and incredibly active lifestyle. But the modern world has brought change. Their lands for grazing have shrunk, so their herds are often smaller now. Because of this, many Maasai have adapted by adding other foods to their diet. Today it's common to see them eating maize meal porridge known as ugali, along with rice, potatoes, and cabbage. While cattle are still the cultural ideal and central to their identity, this shift shows that the Maasai are not a static people. They're pragmatic and adaptable, figuring out how to balance ancient traditions with new realities. The blood ritual is woven right into the social fabric of the Maasai, especially when it comes to gender roles and rites of passage. The ceremony is most famously associated with the Morans, or warriors. After circumcision, young men become Morans and they're tasked with protecting the community and its cattle. Drinking blood is part of their initiation and is believed to give them the courage and strength they need for the job. But it's not just for men. Women play a vital and respected role, especially after childbirth. Drinking blood, usually mixed with milk, is seen as essential for restoring their strength and helping them produce milk for their newborns. The ritual marks these huge life transitions for both men and women, reinforcing social roles and celebrating the milestones that hold the community together. You've probably seen it. The famous Maasai jumping dance, the Adumu. It's that incredible display of grace and power where warriors leap straight up into the air. This dance isn't just for tourists. It's directly linked to the warrior culture that the blood rituals help create. The Adumu is a key part of the initiation ceremonies for young men becoming Morans. It works as both a show of strength and as a way to attract wives. The higher a warrior can jump, the more he proves his fitness and readiness for manhood. Culturally, the energy for the Adumu is believed to come from their traditional diet, which includes the strength-giving properties of blood. The dance and the drink are two sides of the same coin, both essential in celebrating their vibrant, living culture. The Maasai are facing huge pressures from the modern world. Their semi-nomadic lifestyle is being challenged by things like land privatization, climate change, and cities getting bigger. And yet, their core traditions, like the blood ritual, are still alive and well. This isn't because they're just resistant to change, but because they are masters of adaptation. Many Maasai today are part of the modern economy, getting an education and using technology, all while still returning to their villages to fulfill their cultural duties. They are finding brilliant ways to balance two different worlds. Continuing rituals like blood drinking is a conscious choice, a way to hold on to their identity and pass their heritage to their children. It's a testament to their resilience and a powerful reminder that a culture can adapt without being erased. Their traditions aren't museum pieces, they're living, breathing practices that give them strength in a fast-changing world. Learning about the Maasai really shows that behind every tradition that seems shocking, there's a deep and complex human story. If you found these facts as fascinating as I did, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into incredible cultures from around the world. I have to ask, which of these facts surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. So, the next time you hear about the blood-drinking Maasai tribe, you'll know the real story. You'll know it's not about brutality, but about sustainability. It's not a daily habit, but a sacred ritual. And you'll understand that it comes from a deep spiritual connection to the animals that are the very heart of their culture. The real story of the Maasai is one of profound respect for nature, a complex community, and an incredible ability to adapt while holding on to what makes them unique. They challenge our perceptions and invite us to look past the sensational headlines to see the rich, humane, and fascinating reality underneath. Thanks for joining me on this journey.